Hello, Kimberly Stratman. I am the owner of To The Point Coach. I help high-performing women get out of survival mode while keeping their edge. You know, not everything in life is a fight. And I take those skills and I help other individuals, mainly first responders, set up their own plan for retirement so there are no regrets. We have a healthy, happy, well-rounded life, continuing to serve others while taking care of our own needs. Today, we're going to look at how are you seen? You know, we always hear, see me, see me. And you know, what does that mean? We want to be seen a certain way. And if we want to be seen a certain way, then we need to live a certain way. We need to present ourselves a certain way. And I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm not deciding how you should be seen. I'm not deciding how you're seen. I want you to decide that. But let's get the elephant out of the room. And that is, first off, there are people that are never going to support you. There are people that are never going to acknowledge any of the positive things that you do. They're never going to recognize any of the changes that you've made, your personal growth. It doesn't matter. It could be years and years that you've been working on something, and no, these individuals are not going to acknowledge it. Let's not worry about those people. That is a group of catty brats. They're catty brats. And that's not who you're living your life for. You're living your life for you and the people that matter to you. So I'm not telling you that you need to perform a certain way. I'm not saying you need to jump through hoops to make other groups happy. But if you want to be seen a certain way, there are things that you need to do that. You know, I often have women say, I want to be seen as a professional. I'm a professional. I've got my education. I've got my training. I'm a professional. And we start looking at some of the obvious things. Now, this is going to make some of y'all mad because you don't think it matters. But, you know, how you dress when you are in a professional setting, what you wear matters. Here's an example. If you show up in workout clothes, which, heck, I live in workout clothes, but if I showed up at a coaching event, a seminar, if I showed up at a group event in workout clothes, I might be the best coach around. I might be the best trained. I might have authority. I might be an expert. But there are going to be people who think that I'm not very professional. And you know, they might even say that. Great coaching. Oh my gosh, I learned so much. Thank you so much for helping me. But if they were to describe me, professional might not be the word that comes to mind. So professional is how I want to be described. Professional is how I have to present myself. And again, you know, there's people who say, oh, that's cultural norms. I shouldn't have to dress a certain way. I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't have to do that. Well, maybe that's true. But you have to remember, you are trying to feel a certain way. You want to be seen a certain way. So please consider what you're doing and what might be affecting how you are seen. Another thing to look at when it comes to this is decide what you want to be seen as. I want to be seen as kind. I want to be seen as considerate. I want to be seen as knowledgeable. I want to be a subject expert. So there's things that you do for each of those, and they can, you know, you can be a kind subject expert. You can be a professional, knowledgeable, kind person. So you know, you're not limited to any one thing, but you have to think about these different descriptions that you want attributed to you. Kind. Let's say that nobody describes you as kind, and that you don't really understand that, and that, you know, maybe it's starting to bother you. It didn't bother you when you were younger because you just fought for everything and you didn't mind if nobody thought you were kind. Well, now you want to be known as kind. So it is suggested that you identify people that you think are kind. Look what they do. Look how they present themselves. How do they talk to people? How do they talk to you? How do they approach things? And then maybe you can, you know, even copy some of that. You know, look at what they're doing and say, how can I take those things about that person that I identify as kind, and how can I take that into my life? That doesn't mean you're being fake. Doesn't mean you're even being like a copycat or you're cheating. You're learning. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? We're supposed to look at what we like in life and learn how to get it, learn how to be it. You are not going to be seen as kind if you aren't kind. It's just what it is. Now, we don't want you to be a spotlight kind of person, and that means that you're only kind if somebody's looking at you. Because remember, to truly be something, you're that way all the time. You're that way even when nobody's looking. So let's look at something in an area that could help you professionally, and that is knowledgeable. No matter what you do, it is nice to be known as knowledgeable. And I'm gonna fall back on my 30 years of cop work, the background thing, and I'm going to list officers who are very good at making DWI, driving under the influence, arrests around that topic. So that was not my specialty. I did not want to do those arrests because as years went on, they got harder and harder and harder and harder to do. The amount of paperwork, the expertise that you needed to do the roadside testing, the expertise that you needed for the testing at the jail, the breathalyzer test, the blood test, et cetera, the expertise that you needed to testify in court, the amount of time it took for the arrests and for the court testimony. That isn't really what I wanted to do. So you have to do what you have to do, but we have officers that are recognized as the DWI officer. They're the ones that you call on the radio. They're the ones that volunteer for those calls. They're the ones that you call and say, hey, could you come help me? I need some help. I need your expertise. Okay, those officers did not just wake up one day and were the expert. No, it took effort, either on purpose or just accidentally. It took effort. They had to keep up on the laws. They had to learn. They learned from their mistakes. They also learned from their positive outcomes. They learned how to serve the community. They learned how to even serve the individual on the side of the road to make sure their rights were taken care of. They were safely processed. They also learned how to serve the department. That is a knowledgeable expert. Just one example. We could all list examples in all walks of life. An individual who has learned what they need to know to do their job, learned a little bit extra what they need to learn to do their job, and then they've learned how to share that with others. So if we were to ignore the catty brats in the world, but if we were to really pay attention to what matters to us, if we were to pay attention to what we want to be seen as, and if we were to identify what that means, and then we can identify what it takes to be that, there isn't really a reason why you can't be seen as what you want to be seen. It's going to take some effort. Why not work hard for something? Why not make the extra attempts over and over? Who knows? It might not be that hard. It might be easy. It might be harder than you think. Who knows? You might find that you already have that in you. You just had not paid attention to it before. And that's my goal. My goal is that you look at yourself, you find what's in you, you find what you're good at, you give that a lot of attention, you identify some things that you would like to improve, and you give that more attention. Never, ever, ever, ever taking away from your strengths. Don't take away from what you're naturally good at. Always, always acknowledge the gifts that you have been given, and then just fine tune and work on the other areas. I would love to know the areas of your life that you would like to improve. I would like to know how you would like to be seen. I would like to know how you are currently seen. Maybe you don't understand why you're seen like that. Maybe it doesn't make any sense to you. And just like to see where you'd like to go with that. Are you happy with it? Are you making peace with it? Or are you going to make some efforts to change it? So again, Kimberly Stratman, To The Point Coach. Please subscribe to this video. Like this video, and also give me your comments, please. Get a hold of me, leave a message, text me, however you want to do it, leave comments after the video. I'm always open to your opinion. I'm always open to your needs. You are worth your efforts. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.